What's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended. I'm Kim. This is Tyler. And it
I'm
is
gay.
Thursday? Gay Thursday. Okay. Yeah, that works. All right. I hope everybody's had a great week so far. I don't know. Hey, anybody out there been watching the Johnny trial? The Johnny Amber Heard trial? Oh my God. If you did, Wednesdays, amazing. I literally, like, from the beginning to the end, I was like freaking hooked on it. Like, the first person that they even had on there was, did you watch it at all?
I didn't watch the Kate Moss or Dr. Muffins.
Dr. Muffins? You mean Dr. Curry? That sexy little biatch? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You're missing shit, man. You gotta watch that shit. So good.
No, I all right, well, we will talk about that. Okay? Let's talk about actually to kind of preface it. Um Ford came out with a super gay truck. Like literally super gay truck. I
Okay.
guess because they're
Super
remember in
gay?
2008 when we had to bail out these failing companies? Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, their way of sticking it and showing innovation is a gay truck. You think I'm being
Gotta,
hyperbolic?
I gotta look at this truck.
It's a gay truck. So we'll talk about that. Of course, there's a looming food shortage, and of course, the Davos group, the World Economic Forum, is advocating for more shortages.
Sweet.
And so we'll touch on that a little bit. Justin Trudeau got booed at an Aboriginal event.
But
They
I
told him to
thought he
get out.
was one of them. Did he?
Hi, how are
I
ya?
think he
Fuck right off.
maybe he forgot his
Uh,
headdress.
oh, that's very true. Okay, so we're gonna talk about that. Like I said, the World Economic Forum and how the media likes to twist things and how they make stuff up and how they how inconvenient or how conveniently they write things in order to make you go, huh,
The media twisting
just
things?
well,
Wow. I didn't see that coming.
yeah, because the thing about microchips in vaccines or in medication was false. Um, no, they want to do that. They actually want to put microchips in pills. So we're going to talk about that and the media, of course, the media gaslighting. Don't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe your lying ears. I guess would be a better phrase. um, and then we're going to continue on with the Canadian Museum of Human Rights and the super woke garbage that's going on there. And we're going to touch on our government's response to it. How the organization that's behind this movement. And yeah, so we'll talk about that and maybe whatever else comes up. But we do have a lot to get to today. So of course, before we get started, I'm here. I'm queer. Get used
Okay,
to it.
Thursday.
Yeah. So of course we're here Monday, Wednesday, or not anymore. Shut the fuck up. Monday to Friday. We're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, we're on Spotify, of course, on YouTube, on Rumble. Hit the Rumble button, hit the YouTube button, hit the Spotify button, and leave the reviews on the shares. All right, let's get
Hit them
into this
all.
shit. Okay, so just quickly, so to set this up, Ford had released the new Ford Raptor, which everyone knows is like the gay version of a real truck. Like
Okay.
but so someone had said, I like the truck, but that the blue paint is very gay. You should make it black and gold. So Ford really sticking it, not innovating, not trying to push things forward, not being the Ford that, that created the GT40, that created the Mustang. No, let's give them this ugly piece of shit.
I'm a OG boy.
You have to admit it's kind of funny though, because like, okay, so if the guy's like saying, "Well, the blue's kind of gay," then the other guy's like, "I'll show you gay," and then this is what the outcome is.
It's so ugly.
Oh, that back though, that's hot. That heart,
Yeah,
very gay raptor.
yeah.
Wait, what the hell is that thing? It looks like
The-
a weird El Camino looking thing.
no, it's an ugly. This is the gay guy version of a smart car. Like, could you not imagine two homosexuals in that little thing?
That thing is so ugly. There's like the weird trunk on the back. It's like a truck, you know?
Like, all someone
Shit, I
said
was muted,
was,
motherfucker. I said that guy was probably like, "I'll show you black and gold," and then he put gold with all the glitter. Mm-hmm.
well, that's a cool car, but that blue color is very gay. Hey, Ford, paint it in black and gold or camo. I'll take things that never happened for 500, Alex.
Well, I guess that's
That's not
camo
a.
if you're in a gay parade.
This sounds like something like a 12-year-old would say because they don't understand the difference between a truck and a car, and they like, or they just don't commute ever in anything.
Yeah,
They just sit in their mother's basement going, Cheeto fingers, and Nancy Pelosi, suck my dick.
nice. I don't know. I think
Nightmares.
it's a little funny. It's a little funny.
It's it, it's it's funny, but the thing is ugly.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But if somebody, like, honestly, like, thinking about it, if someone was like, the color that you made your vehicle looks gay," in my head, I'd be like, "I'll show you gay. I'll fucking
Yeah,
sparkle glitter this
I'll,
shit. I'll bedazzle it, bitch."
I'll have AIDS all over it. I'll have broken condoms and ecstasy and
I'm sorry, did we just take a trip back to the 70s?
well, that's gay.
In the 70s?
Uh, Elton John. We'll
Oh,
have
God.
Elton John in his gay glasses.
I can't tell if
We'll probably
we
have we'll have all the priests because they're secretly gay. We'll have Anthony Fauci because and Brian Stelter and Mark Mendocino. Huh? Why don't you put a bunch of
I can't
all right,
tell if we time traveled back to the 70s or if you just turned like 90.
what? Or
Really?
monkeypox.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, we should put a monkeypox virus on it because that the only people that get it are the gays. You think I'm joking? I'm dead serious. Don't try and save the gay community. Don't want to offend them gays. Just like they did with the AIDS epidemic, that they said that you could get it from a cereal box.
Yeah, that was stupid Fauci
No,
because he's a retard. And yet people are taking
Fucci.
medical advice from him. Interesting.
Stupid Fucci. Fucci. All right, okay, so we'll touch on this quickly. So the Amber Heard trial, of course, is going down in flames. It's not good for, I would say, for the Herb Heard team. So during cross examination, Elaine, Elaine, Elaine.
Elaine.
This I don't. You know what? To be fair, I don't care. Whatever her name is, it sucks. So TMZ, for anyone that knows, is like the tabloid. They get all the juicy, the sweet hotness, the ooze that is Hollywood. And so a former employee had come in and said that they would like to testify in regards to the Amber Heard that she wanted to keep the divorce hush hush. And people have said that no, she sold it. In fact, she said it. She went, I didn't want him to find out from TMZ.
Well, yeah,
She goes
in
like
her
that. She goes,
London one. Yeah. But
yeah,
see, the thing is, like, if you watch the whole thing, like, he doesn't specifically outright say Amber Heard sold it to us, but he does say in order for the video to be verified and for them to have copyright, it either has to be from the person who did the video or the
Owns
owner of
it.
the video. Yeah. So they would have had to have had permission in order to verify it before it even went out. And that video wasn't even in full context. The video was edited. So there were parts that were missing from it that he's seen more in the court one. So yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't outright say Amber Heard sold it to us. Oh, but it was implied.
Well, okay, but so at one point, I guess during examination, the Depp's team had said, or I'd asked, so how long does it take from, say, if someone sells you a video that they own, how long does it take for you to roughly authenticate it? He says about 15 minutes. And so she says, well, how long did it take for this video? Yeah, about 15 minutes.
Yep.
So, like, he can't directly say, like, it could be, sent in a Dropbox and, okay, like, hey, we're giving you the scoop, and the whole thing. But so, Elaine, in her infinite wisdom, and you start to see when someone starts to attack someone, like, not on terms of like the actual credibility, like, how could you verify, like, actually trying to dismantle them through credibility. This is how she resorted to discredit this person. So let's just play it. It's just a little clip. Little clip. All right.
I am aware that there are cameras. And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame.
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
Ooh.
So I stand to gain nothing from this. I'm actually putting myself kind of in a target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes. So you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client.
Insert mic drop. Just boom.
Oh, look at you, guy.
Even Heard's lawyer is sitting there laughing. She's, yeah, you got me.
So what I was saying was, yeah, the way that even Johnny's lawyers, like you see the guy like turn back to Camille and just like, oh my God. And they're all laughing. Like it honestly, the way that he just right in there, it was great. And to anybody else who was watching it today, I don't know if you saw, well, Johnny had went back up on the stand. Did you see that? Oh,
Yeah.
The shit that was coming out of his mouth was just these tiny little things he would say. Like, it was so funny. He was like with the one guy, because he's like, I'm asking you a yes or no question. Da, 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 da. Just say yes or no. And he's like, okay, but it's not a yes or no question. And then he's like, blah, 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 yes or no. And he's like, he said something, Mr. Rotten Bomb. Like, he just like split it up at one point.
Oh.
And then at one point when he was like getting mad at him, like, oh, yes or no, da, 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 da. And he was just like, no, right? And then, but when he was getting examined by one of his lawyers,
perfect examples.
I know,
Perfect
I'm
examples.
sorry, because I just realized I mixed two things up here. Sorry. So when he was getting examined by one of his lawyers, he kept objecting. And then finally he like looked over at him and he was just like, okay, no. Is that better, Mr. Rotten Bomb? And we're just like, oh my God. And then he was sitting there and then the guy sat down. He's like, don't worry, it's okay. It'll be okay. I was just like, oh my God. But just the little things, little digs he was doing was just fantastic.
Well, and so so there was that initial claim was made. You're looking for your 15 minutes of fame. And you know what? To be fair, TMZ is very litigious. Their copyrights, they are very protective of it. And so she couldn't say she was the arresting officer in, was it Seattle, Portland, wherever Amber Heard beat the fuck out of her, or beat the crap out of her old wife, girl, whatever, something. But this lady could not say that she was the arresting officer, but she said like um that she was called to break this up, this dispute that was happening, and her colleague I can't remember how she said it, but this was the arresting officer back when Amber Heard beat up her whatever Von Teese, whatever
No,
her.
it wasn't Dita Von Teese. That was Marilyn Manson that was with that, but I can't remember what her name
Well,
is, but
whatever.
it was her wife. Like, apparently Amber bought herself a ring or something like that and a dress and just started calling her a wife or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, and so Elaine did that same thing again to her. Like, you're aware that this is being televised and this is your 15 minutes of fame. Like, no, no, I have nothing to gain from this. I just wanted to. I had seen that there was information that was being portrayed that was incorrect, and I felt it necessary to correct the record.
Well, it was the same thing with
So
that guy too from the Trailer Palace. It was the same thing. She's like, "Oh, you're a big fan of Johnny, aren't you?" "No, I'm not actually."
yeah,
"Oh yeah, but you follow him, Johnny fan or whatever. You follow Johnny fan on your Twitter." "No, I don't." And then it was so funny when they like mentioned about the umbrella guy, and he's like, he just starts laughing. He's like, "This sounds schizophrenic." Like, she kept like umbrella man, umbrella man. But
well, there is the umbrella guy.
that's who
That is
she
an
kept messing up the
yeah.
name. Yeah, yeah. But um I have to say that Dr. Curry, you gotta watch that part. Dr. Curry's
Doctor
testimony,
Muffins.
oh, she she is a sexy lady. But not only is she a sexy lady, the brains on that girl, oh, but the way she crushed everything. 'Cause she literally went up there and she was talking about how I guess the psychologist that had done Amber's evaluation, how essentially like she went up there and she misrepresented everything that Dr. Curry had done. But then she also had said that this girl had said that they did like a 12 different checklist.
20 point checklist, and
There was 12
she
different.
was 19.
No, hold
She
on.
was 19 of 20.
Hold on. There was 12 different tests that she was supposed to have conducted, but apparently she didn't do all 12 tests. And not only that, apparently like she was essentially handing Amber the papers that literally had shown like, okay, here's the checklist. Check off all the things that you are. So it's showing like different symptoms of PTSD. So
Mhm.
Amber had had checked a whole bunch of them off, right? And Dr. Curry was mentioning that with somebody who has suffered from PTSD, they're not going to check everything off. And the fact that she scored so high meant that she was over exaggerating things. So then what ends up happening is they just completely disregard that. So when Dr. Curry was doing the evaluation, because she scored so high on that, they completely disregarded it. She did say that it did seem like she had some sort of PTSD from like childhood trauma, but it had nothing to do with something more recent. However, later on, after Amber's team started then going and attacking her, which it was just fantastic. Oh God, she's a beautiful woman. But she had said that Amber had scored so high on the PTSD thing with about the spousal abuse and stuff like that, that she literally scored in above the 95th percentile or 98th percentile,
98.
which means
Yeah.
98 people scored lower than her. She was like, she got 100%. This isn't one of those things where you get like 100% thing. Like it was just like, okay, this is completely exaggerated and made up. Like she had even said people who suffer from extreme PTSD and abuse and stuff like that
What?
don't score that high.
No, well, okay, but the 98 percentile is of people that score on this. Out of 100, out of 100%, out of fuck. I mean, crap. Darn it. Poop. Schniesel blitzen. But so she out of comparable people, she is 98%. Like that's like, or 97% of victims are below her. So that's only 98 and 99 are like like that's unheard of how high it is. And only way that she could actually get to 99 is hitting all 20 of these 20 questions.
She said
So
she scored above the 98th percentile.
I heard that it was 98. It was 98.
I heard
But
she scored above, but regardless, either way, it was just absolutely astronomical, the high score that she had on it, that it's just it reeks of bullshit.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, you can see the defense is kinda it's faltering, and if I was a betting man, I think Johnny Depp will win this case. I think
I
his name will be restored.
I hope
But
so. Hold on, one more thing with this, and then we can move on. So, through all the entire thing, she looked super bitchy, like as Dr. Curry's talking, as anybody else was talking, when Johnny was up there talking. But then when Johnny was getting cross-examined when he was up on the stand by her lawyer, Amber Heard's lawyers, they were reading this text out that said a lot of like really hurtful, vile things and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, like the whole time she's just sitting there all like, hmm. And then they start reading this text, and she's like,
yeah,
looks so sad. And
for
then literally then all of a
for
sudden,
people that are only listening,
oh,
she looked as though she was being hurt.
yeah,
Like, it was hurting her feelings. She felt like, "How could he say this about me?"
yeah. And you can see she kept looking over at the jury and kind of like putting her head down. And then as soon as all of a sudden then they started asking some other questions, she literally like in a blink of an eye went from like, oh, looking down to just like, back up all
Yeah,
bitchy
no,
again.
yeah, no, it's a perfect example of she's full of shit. Alright, but so okay, so let's get into some more serious stuff. Um, let's look at so McCain Foods, or not McCain Foods. The guy's name is McCain. Maple Leaf Foods, one of the biggest meat producers, processors in Canada, um, has recently come out, and I guess the article from the Globe and Mail says, so Canada is facing a terrible food crisis, says Maple Leaf CEO Michael McCain. And what what could possibly what could possibly be causing this food shortage? I know we touched on this a little bit yesterday. Could it be, gas prices getting too high? Could it be food prices getting high? Could it be, problems with the supply chain and logistics? Maybe destabilization in terms of like grain or corn.
The shit that got shut down during COVID. No.
You no. Uh, Please, you got an idea? Because according to him, he says it really is about the systemic issues. He pointed to multiple factors tied to food insecurity: income inequality, poverty, mental illness, access to skills, including financial and nutritional skills, and racism.
I'm sorry, what? I think I just hallucinated there. Did you just say that our food shortage is partly caused due to racism?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What kind
Food
of dumbass
insecurity is not
bullshit is
about.
that?
He says food insecurity is not about. The fundamental drivers of food insecurity are not food. Food insecurity is not about food. The fundamental drivers of food insecurity, the fundamental drivers of food insecurity are not food. Canada has an ample supply of food. It's racism. Everything's racism. It's not the don't think about the BLM riots that were happening for over a year, where Walgreens, CVS, local mom and pop stores, the food deserts that have been an issue for decades, not the ransacking, not the places finally saying, "Hey, we're getting robbed blind here." It's not it's not people going into stores and stealing. It's weird. They aren't going into grocery stores and stealing food. No, they're stealing some Louis Vuitton bags, some sweet threads. They're stealing
I get my
perfume.
kicks.
Yeah, like that sounds like opportunistic
Yeah.
thievery. That doesn't sound like desperation thievery.
No.
But no, but it's racism. Racism is why people don't have access to food.
I don't
Like,
understand the correlation. I don't understand how somebody can make that leap. It's literally like apples to oranges. Like, what? It makes no sense.
Yeah, so I guess in one I guess the article continues on. So with experts have long well, actually I did this backwards, but it's funny that it's about racism. But even though it's not, experts have long empathized that food insecurity is a problem of access, not supply. I agree. They have frequently advocated for policy changes aimed at reducing inequality. Okay, so the ability to access food. Such policies include a universal basic income. Eh? All right, I'll continue. So increase social safety measures such as child benefit and disability payments and better labor conditions. How I would like to understand how better work conditions and universal basic income, more welfare, how how does that impact people not being able to purchase food?
I
Like
don't know. I'm trying to play connect the dots here, and I don't see a dot.
like I will say I do agree that accessing food, yes, that absolutely can be a problem. Well, maybe instead of burning down these places and actually destroying these racism in these communities, like Black Lives Matter actually going into minority communities and burning stuff down. I don't know. Could it maybe be that? But I don't think it has to do with income inequality. But I thought women make less money than men. So wouldn't it be sex? Like, wouldn't sex be a contributing thing? Income inequality. So because you don't make enough money as everyone else, therefore you can't access food. Mental illness. How does mental illness and how I'm really struggling to understand because any growth think logically. Like, do the sniff test. Does it smell like bull? Does it smell like bull? Bull sausage.
I'm smelling a lot of poop right now.
Like, what business in their right mind would say, "Yo, no blacks need enter. Those Hispanics, eh, I don't like the cut of their jib.
Do places
Get them
actually
out of
still
here."
do that? Like, are people really still that gross?
No. I'm saying if a business does that, like, I don't understand why you would. Like, you're literally
Yeah.
alienating potential customers.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
I
makes
just wanna I just wanna get the money out of your pockets. I don't care what color your skin is. Oh, Jewish? By all means. In fact, you probably have more money, but you'll be a little stingy about it. Oh,
honestly, I could even care less if a freaking alien walked in the door or elf. Elf came in. I'd be like, okay, you furry little fuck.
no.
Give me your money.
Well, if you go to Rainforest, you'll probably see at least one elf.
Where?
Rainforest, it's a furry convention. Oh, disgusting.
How do
What? Look
you
it up.
even
Check
know
it out.
that? Oh, you've been having. Do you go as a bear?
No costume required.
I'm a walking furry.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, again, this is the type of it's such a cop out. He again, Maple Leaf Foods, one of the largest food producers in Canada, is saying it's based on income inequality, poverty, racism, access to skills. What does that even mean, including financial and nutritional skills? Do you need to go to school to learn how to chew?
Highly
I I
possibility.
I this sounds like a cop out. This doesn't sound like someone actually attempting to address the problem, even though they fund organizations to try and solve food issues by donating $20 million to food research. Well, would you not look at, you know, the main level of apartment complexes are grocery stores? If there's, trying to like I don't understand the issue of, well, why don't we solve the problem instead of researching a way to solve the problem? Like, you know what the problem is. They cannot if someone cannot access a grocery store, so how do we solve that problem? I don't know. Let's research how to solve the problem which we just said. Like, okay, so let's get a grocery store in there. I don't think going to 7-Eleven and buying deep fried chicken is probably not the best thing. But it's lazy. It's absolutely lazy. Again, has don't talk about Ukraine Russian war. Oh, well, they blame it on that. Oh, it's Putin's fault.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
that's
weird
generally what
because
they're gonna do, right?
this has been an issue, and all the policies being pushed forward. It kind of compounds the issue. Would you not? Well, no. What do you mean? What do you mean? No, we're watching our food prices go like that, like Jeff Bezos' dick fucking rocket.
Well, because it's trying to keep up with our gas prices. Our gas prices are going like that. So it's like, yeah, well, you know what? We got to keep that up too.
Ah.
Yeah.
So and to be fair, like I don't have said, food shortages are coming. They're in fact they're already here. You see the baby formula. You're seeing leftists
That's
that are
so
saying,
gross.
well, this shows the true value of capitalism, where four baby formula makers can't keep up with production. What do okay, before you say something dumb, how does that what does four manufacturers of food not being able to keep up with demand when they can't even hire the people to work? Like, if you give people, and this has always been my big issue with universal basic income. If you just give people money, okay, like, money is a trade medium. You use money as a vehicle, as you trade your time for work. I know we've talked about this before, so I'm not really gonna go into it. Please, like, take an economics 101 course. Fucking look it up online. Like, it's not that hard to understand what money is. It's just a trade medium.
I
All
don't
it is,
get
but well, I
it.
don't care. But you're seeing that the governments are keep pushing this, that, well, it's racist. It's absolute it's not has nothing to do with the policies that I've, advocated for, I've pushed, and the liberal government NDP Jagmeet have continued to push for it. For those listening, I did the dick in the mouth and yeah.
It's hot.
If you know. If you've ever done little tongue in the cheek, no, that's what he's doing. But not actually addressing the problem. This is where people start saying, this isn't by accident. This seems intentional. Well, let's look at some of this. So Trudeau got booed and had to cancel events in Aboriginal communities, actually in Surrey, BC, because people were
Ah.
saying, because protesters were hurling racial slurs at the mostly South Asian attendees. I don't think so. I haven't been able to see a video on it. I haven't seen one, but there was security concerns. I
Hold
I don't
on.
get it. I don't understand why.
Um. What? So is he saying that like what?
He had to cancel an event because people were saying mean words. People were making sounds with their face. That's the problem. So he said no one should be intimidated or stopped from exercising their democratic freedom, because that's what this country is all about. Oh man, you should tell that to the Freedom Convoy that you literally had the Ottawa and RCMP jackboots beat up peaceful protesters. I call me color me skeptical.
What color is that?
Brown.
Yeah, I could see it.
Because it's pretty like, and
Pretty
I don't
shitty.
mean because brown people. Shut up, racist.
I was thinking
No,
shit.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But so Trudeau said he would return. He would return to see his supporters in Surrey in the future, and an organizer of the event told attendees they should feel free to stay and enjoy dinner, which had been billed as a $1,000 a plate fundraiser. $1,000.
Holy shit, there better be some gold in that
Ooh,
food. I better be shitting out gold when I'm done eating that food. For $1,000?
it's funny. I tried to stop swearing, and now that's all you're doing.
Well, someone's
Thanks,
got to pick up the
Cam.
slack. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but
Sorry.
so, and to be fair, I don't think anyone like if you have conviction, if you truly believe and you know what you are doing is right, you would stand before that. You would stand and make those assertions. You would be able to argue your point. He, he has never addressed the scrutiny by which he is being alleged. Never. Okay, look at this. Check this out. In Canada, he ran from his own citizens. Literally, he ran away from them. Maybe
He
not
still was.
literally, because he probably like pranced.
Oh, I'm sure there was definite arm flailage and some girly screaming behind him too. Not behind him. I meant coming from him.
Coming in him. But
Ew.
so you had him run from his own citizens, the people who pay him. He is our servant, not the other way around. But he went to Ukraine and met with citizens there.
During a
And mind
war.
you, without a mask. But in Canada, so do you understand how the absolute disdain that he has? And you know what? It seems, as a quick little aside, it's funny that especially after like this Texas, of course, another shooting. So the same arguments are coming. Deep, we need to ban assault weapons and all this stuff.
Really? There's been another school shooting?
Yeah, yeah. In a
Eh,
in a again, a gun free zone. So
To be fair, I've
if
been
you're gonna
so
shoot somewhere,
wrapped up in the Johnny Depp trial that I haven't watched or listened to anything else. That literally takes up 10 hours of my day.
well, no one complains about the mass, like 19 people. I think 19 people had been injured. Um, that happens every weekend in Chicago. That's the weekend in Chicago,
Probably a
and
good
no
thing.
one talks about that. One of the strongest cities, if not the state of Illinois, has some of the toughest gun laws, I believe, in the country.
Hmm.
But yet they have gun shootings all the time. It's almost like criminals break laws. Oh,
No, come on. I'm
I
pretty
know.
sure the criminals out there will be like, oh, these are the only guns we're allowed to use, and we're only allowed to have this many bullets per gun. Okay. No, got it. We got this.
Yeah.
100%. And they're licensed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely they are. Yeah, they're not whatever. But so if you have conviction, if you at least have can take a stance on something, like I'm sure some of the ideas that I have, I think minimum wage is bullshit. And I've explained why I think minimum wage is a terrible idea. I think it is absolutely disastrous. I actually have big problems with the welfare system. I have a lot of problems with a lot of policies that have been pushed that force people to become dependent on the government instead of them being in charge of their own destiny. But you see, time and time again, he runs from his own citizens. Or I shouldn't. He runs from the people that elected him. He runs from the people that he is supposed to represent, and he does that with absolute disdain.
See,
And I
and
think that That's
And to me, that literally, when the Freedom Convoy or whatever was going to Ottawa, him running the way that he did, I was so disgusted. Like, and the thing is, like, there's so many people out there that use that. Well, he had COVID. Hi. Do you see what him and I are doing right now? Okay, he's like in another part of Canada right now. I'm here. And we're having a conversation. So whether he was in quarantine or not, he could have Zoom called with the people that were the runner people of the convoy. Oh my god. What do you call them?
yeah.
Like Tamara
Freedom
Lynch.
Convoy
No,
or
like the
organizers.
organizers. There's the word I was looking for. Like, yeah. He could have literally had a Zoom call or whatever kind of call, video call with them to actually just listen to what they had to say. But no, he's like, no, we don't talk with terrorists and shit like that. Yeah, because they were a horrible group of people. Yep.
It
I
just
mean,
it just shows it shows his disdain for Canada as a democratic society, and the absolute disdain for democratic processes. And we're now what? So okay, so let me point this out. In Canada, we have now sent hundreds of millions of dollars of military equipment for Ukraine to do what? Just what? To secure their borders, to stop invaders. But yet here, if you have a gun and you use it to protect yourself, you're considered a criminal.
yeah,
So oh, okay, because it's in a far off because it's in a and it's okay, but when it's at home in order for you to defend yourself, it's considered wrong.
yeah.
Where's the disconnect here? I don't understand it. And again, we have more gun laws, more gun registry that was backdoored in. It wasn't voted on. It wasn't put up for debate. No, it was done through uh, order in council. So it was another backdoor way where they just say, and again, if you had any type of integrity, any actual point to argue that, okay, you would stand in front. You would stand at those people and say, hey, Rebel News, I don't agree with your perspective, but goddamn, I will defend your right as a journalist, as a citizen. But no, it's ridicule. I don't know. It becomes really bothersome that this is acceptable.
Well, yeah, and the fact that he literally went to the Ukraine, an active war zone, a place that was actively getting attacked. He left Canada to go to Ukraine to a war, but he ran away from a bunch of peaceful truckers. I
Yeah,
I mean, it's really good that he did that for
it's
another country that wasn't his country. That's just bravo. Bravo.
liberals are amazing at spending your money. They're not good with the money, but they're amazing at spending other people's money.
Of course.
Be damned if they actually spent their money. No, they'll spend your money.
Yeah.
All right, but okay, so let's move on to this, and then we're gonna get into we'll get back into the Canadian Museum of crap. So Pierre Poilievre says that he will ban ministers and other top officials from involvement with the World Economic Forum. Good, good. So he says, I have made it clear that my ministers in my government will be banned for participating in the World Economic Forum when I'm in government. Work for Canada. If you want to go to Davos, to that conference, make it a one-way ticket. But you can't be part of our government and working for a policy agenda that is against the interests of our people. Agreed.
Yes. Pierre,
Oh,
I just want to give you a big hug. I really do. Yeah.
I really like him. I really like Roman Baber. Roman, he came from a communist country. So he always he rallies or rails against the woke, the leftist, the communist. He came from a communist country. He had to flee it. So, and then so with the World Economic Forum, there was a big push with, oh, Pfizer wanted to put microchips in, that they wanted to track that you were actually taking medicine. And so, hold on, I'm trying to. So this was an art. Well, it was a thought idea of putting microchips inside of pills in order for people to, in order for, if you took your medication, that doctors would know that you took it.
That's gross.
It's again, I'm okay with the advancements in technology and actually being able to, help people, but it's weird. It's weird in how mainstream media phrased this, because he um absolutely said that he that of putting these microchips inside of pills in order to imagine the compliance. That's what he had said. So Pfizer CEO pitches Davos elites on Wi-Fi microchip pills. So I'll add this to
I'm watching you
the
here.
show map.
So, really random question. I have a question for you. So, okay, so we're talking about like microchips and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, I was just thinking about how crazy people are and they put like the dumbest shit under their skin to begin with. But I was a random thought all of a sudden. I wonder if was like a person out there that was just so like, yeah, I'm going to get all my shots for COVID and all this like freaking, what do you call them? Those like COVID passports and stuff like that. I wonder if somebody was actually like dumb enough to tattoo the QR code onto themselves,
Probably. I wouldn't be
right?
surprised.
Right?
Oh, are you kidding me? People tattoo like their social insurance number, their bank card, like people do stupid stuff. All right, but okay, so if uh so if you scroll down onto this article, the video clip is right here. So he's talking in regards to, um like, what's the medication for like schizophrenics and stuff like that.
Oh my
Whatever. It,
God.
it
Seroquel is one of them.
No, the type of like what's it called? But whatever, it doesn't really matter. So all right, so just play this quick little clip. It's only 20
Antipsychotic.
second,
Okay.
I don't know, whatever.
It is
Okay, so just play this clip.
basically biological chip that it is in the tablet. And once you take the tablet and dissolves into your stomach, sends a signal that you took the tablet. So imagine the applications of that, compliance. The insurance companies to know that the medicines that patients should take, they do take them. It is fascinating what happens in this field.
Okay, so you've heard
God.
right from the guy's mouth. He said a little microchip inside, and it would release a signal once it's ingested that the pill has been taken. Imagine the compliance.
That's disturbing. I actually thought it was going to be just like a microchip implanted under your skin somewhere that they would just like scan, almost like a dog microchip. You know, they scan it and then your information pops up. Your phone. But still, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't realize it was literally going to be like some weird every single pill you take is a weird microchip in there that dissolves and sends back information. That's disturbing.
All right. So okay. So so if you scroll down, so what did PolitiFact? What did the mainstream media have to say? So if you look at like Pfizer CEO microchips, the first thing you see, this was from PolitiFact, our ruling. The headline on an article shared on Facebook says Pfizer CEO new pill will have a microchip that transmits info once you swallow it, which is what he said. That's absolutely what you heard the man say it. He doth protest it. But look how they twist it. The article cites a video of Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla speaking at an event about sensors and pills, but the video was from 2018. about 2 years before the COVID-19 pandemic, which was already developed, I believe, in 2016. COVID-19 was already around. Borla was talking about a drug that has been approved 2 months earlier for treating schizophrenia, not any COVID-19 treatment. He wasn't talking about even in how you said it. Pfizer CEO, new pill will have a microchip that transmits info once you swallow it. So do you under so you see the little sleight of hand that's going on there? While Pfizer has a new antiviral medication, Paxlovid, that has been approved for COVID-19 treatment, there is no evidence that it contains a microchip.
Right. Well, now I'm really beginning to wonder.
But you see the little sleight of hand because, like I said, if you type it in, it's all about COVID-19. Every article is about COVID-19. He didn't actually say this, but the man said it. Like,
Oh, yeah, it came right out of the horse's mouth, like verbatim. It's not like it's words written on a thing that somebody could have misquoted or whatever. Like it's literally the noises coming out of his mouth. So,
yeah. So, and it's so weird. Early for treating schizophrenia, not any COVID-19 treatment. But while Pfizer has a new antiviral medication, Paxlovid, that has been approved for COVID-19 treatment, there is no evidence it contains a microchip. We rate this claim as false. How can you rate the claim as false when the guy literally said that we could, if we put these microchips in, it releases a signal that says that the medication was taken? This is where things like, again, don't believe your lying eyes or ears. He said it. And I'm not saying absolutely they're putting microchips in it. Why do they need to follow you? Again, you got a tracker right here.
yeah.
That's the beautiful thing with Alexa. You don't need the government to do it. Private corporations will do it. You
Mhm.
will pay them to come and listen to you. So
Yep.
let's check out. We've talked about this before. So the Talus ID wallet. So just check out this. Oh God, I fucked my hair.
It's funny. Sorry, speaking of like things listening to you and stuff. Okay, so a friend of ours, one of their friends, had put this thing on my phone for me that actually helps. Like it stops your camera from working, your microphone, stuff like that, so people can't listen in and whatnot. You have no idea. Literally every time I turn it off because I can't take a photo on my camera without turning it off. So I turn it off to take a photo, and sometimes I'll forget it off. And literally every single time I forget it off, all of a sudden I'll see my phone light up and it's fucking listening to me. Like it's literally like saying the
Yeah.
words right after me. I'm like, that's just creepy. But anyway, okay.
Yeah. All right, so we've played this before. The Talus, the digital ID wallet, the creepiness. The all right, so let's just play this quickly.
So
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Meet Lucy,
Hi.
student in
Hello.
psychology, and me, her digital ID wallet issued by the government to offer a
Hello.
wide range
Issued
of
by
identity
the government.
services. In fact, I'm a handy way of proving and protecting her identity, both online and face-to-face.
And also
Let's have a
removing it when
closer
you
look at
speak
what I
out
can
against
do.
the government.
I can help governments to better communicate with citizens. Right now, I'm reminding Lucy of the appointment she needs to schedule for her mandatory vaccination. Time
How
to
are you
go to
doing?
her exam. Lucy is a bit stressed out. I'm here to make it
Creep.
easy for her to prove she is the right candidate, with a quick
Your
and
tits
secure
away.
connection between her phone and the examiner's.
Never. This is what I do. When I put a video on for you guys, I flash them.
Exam passed successfully. Quick stop at the doctor's before celebrating, and
my
no
God.
time to lose. On the way, Lucy uses me to declare her passport lost.
Again,
She
how
needs it
like
for her
how
upcoming road trip. No
how
issue.
weird is
She
that?
can request an emergency digital passport without having to go to the authority office.
Your digital
I make
passport, and
official
again, we will
admin a
revoke it
lot
if you
smoother.
decide to speak
And
out
that's
against the
not all.
government,
I can
because
also
you
help
know
Lucy request
if
a
you
birth
speak
certificate,
out,
pay her
we'll freeze your
taxes,
bank account.
or
The
prove
government
who
has
she
already
is
done
when
it.
onboarding to new
Right?
services, such as opening a bank account.
And
I
we're
allow
always
Lucy
listening.
to certify her health care coverage entitlement. She's able to decide
hello,
whether to
doctor.
authorize
Yes,
the
just scan
doctor
my
to
QR
access her
code.
medical records or not,
Yeah.
ensuring her control over her personal data.
Oh,
Lucy
perfect.
needs
Looks like
one
we
more
had
thing before being all set for her trip to Australia: renting a car. I help her share her
Oh yeah,
driver's license credentials online
doctor-patient
so that she
confidentiality
doesn't have
agreement.
to wait hours in a queue to collect the car when she gets to Brisbane. The rental company benefits from secure and accurate information, and Lucy from a smooth experience. Lucy's friends are waiting for her inside the bar. To allow her to get in, I simply generate a
scanning to
QR
enter bar
code
too.
that proves Lucy is old enough, so she doesn't have to share all her ID details with the bar staff. So yes, I'm Lucy's best companion. I protect her identity and official credentials wherever she goes. I provide secured
Yeah,
access to
along
public
with
and
the
private
government
services
telling
and
you,
allow her to have full control over her data privacy. In other words,
oh,
I
she's still
give the
wearing
right
her
access
clothes.
to the right data to the right person. I am also trusted by governments to best support countries' digital transformation, fight against ID fraud, and deliver smooth public services. I am the Talis Digital ID Wallet.
Okay, that's creepy. That's
It's
that's
beyond
really
creepy,
weird.
actually.
Oh, we'll put microchips inside of your pills in order for to ensure that there is full compliance. Weird. That sounds almost like a word that they were saying during the world ending pandemic of we need total compliance. So it's just a oh, and here let's look at another one of the government telling you, oh god damn it, I hate so well okay, so I can just touch on it quickly. Um during the World Economic Forum, they're talking about, oh, you can download an app and you can see how much carbon you're using. So you'll be charged for the carbon that you emit, like eating, breathing. So if you know, travel, you are solely responsible for your individual carbon. So we're gonna put you on this whole system, and if it's a little too high, nay nay, sorry, you can't go shopping today.
So is it this 25-second video that Amy posted?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, I'll just show it. Okay. Oh,
Through
volume it.
technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are
What to
they
do?
eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
Oh, stay tuned. Can't wait. Oh my god.
Isn't Yeah, you can check, how much you useless eaters are using so that we can eventually you off and then, problem solved. You see all that stuff
No,
coming
I
out about, what, you die?
no, why?
Oh,
Oh, did I
did you see
freeze?
did you see the stuff with, Bill Gates, funding articles in order to smear Elon Musk?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a big campaign and, you know, Bill Gates, he hasn't changed much. He hasn't changed. All right. Okay. So let's finish today with talking about again the Canadian Museum of Human Rights and how they seem to forget that human rights actually means like stopping discrimination, stopping the division, that just a general hatred. So all right, let's continue where we left off from yesterday. So, a tweet from the Canadian Museum of Human Rights. We're excited to welcome fully immunized visitors back to the museum. This is the same museum that literally discriminated against people, not human rights. So we have this quick little clip from Rebel News. We're not going to play the whole thing, just to give you a little snippet. Right? Punch it. Punch it. Punch it. Yes. Yes. Just watch the volume.
The fourth floor of this building is of very huge significance. It's exactly why we're here.
When we highlight differences between groups of people to increase suspicion of them, to insult them, or to exclude them, we are going down a path known as
othering, you
So
say.
many people standing outside here trying to get in. Then why are you guys protecting this? It's just, it's reaching over there. Yeah. On the entrance.
Public health order states that it must be open. Yeah. Visitors must be double vaccinated.
The special circumstances around being able to go to a movie or a Bomber game if you're double vaxxed are extra privileges.
And just like
Get
that,
extra
2 weeks to
privileges,
slow the spread
Kim.
has turned into a forever war against those who aren't fully up to date on their QR code.
Yeah, so if you want to be part of...
I was just gonna say, oh no, can't go to a museum because I'm not double vaccinated. No.
You would think that a museum dedicated to seeing how discrimination has divided people, has hurt people. Nay. No, just another government entity. Like, you can speak bad about other governments. Yeah, don't you dare talk bad about our government. You're not allowed to do that. So let's continue on. So, with regards to the Canadian Museum of Human Rights, there was, as we had talked about last time, that there were allegations of sexual harassment, of despicable racism and homophobia tactics that were being used, and who had actually conducted the 79-page article. And so it's a little place called Equitable Solutions Consulting. So I guess this is right from their website. So in 2018, Laurel Harris decided to follow her passion. Blah blah blah. I really don't give a shit. So it leverages over 18 years experience in the legal profession, governance, and business acumen gained through blah blah blah. Cool. If you scroll down, this is the first thing you see when you hit her website. Watch Laurel's anti-racism in action. Anti-racism. Again.
Not
remember,
racism.
Anti-racism is not racist.
God, I'm penning that shit. That's a shirt.
So in addition to her undergraduate and law degrees, Laurel has also undertaken graduate studies in women's studies and black studies.
Really? Did you really? Ugh.
So on yesterday, so we had talked about the findings of, that according to CBC, dozens of people came forward of homophobia, anti-Semitism, racism, blah blah blah
Sexual
blah blah.
harassment. Yeah.
Yeah. So their findings. You're welcome to look, but of course, anything we talk about will be pinned in the description box. So you're more than welcome to look at all the findings. One thing I found really weird or interesting: sexual harassment. Listen to this vile, disgusting mess. At the present time, there is no finding as to whether sexual harassment investigations were undertaken improperly or at all prior to the fall of 2016. There are indications that sexual harassment and stalking complaints made by Black women, finally Black women, may not have been investigated or addressed adequately. Well, adequately to who? Okay, so they even say in their own thing that doesn't seem like there was any kind of sexual harassment going on. Racism is pervasive and systemic within the institution. I guess racism, by their definition, this is why words are important. So the Canadian Museum of Human Rights is now spending $250,000 a year in order to fight the 5 allegations of disgusting animals, these degenerate people, and I mean the people that aren't up and up with the the times.
I mean, they're not woke.
Yeah. So if you look at sexism, heterosexism, and homophobia, LGBTQ content was omitted or hidden on 6 occasions in 2017 and 1 occasion in 2015. So, 7 occasions. Further exploration of this practice is warranted to determine if the practice occurred more pervasively. Why? So why was gay stuff omitted? It was from religious schools. Religious schools just said, "Hey, we don't want to push the gay stuff." So the museum just puts a curtain across it. Oh, but you're not talking
Blasphemous.
about the gays. So that's the big problem they had. So you have a statement that came out from the museum. And again, once you throw your hat into this realm, you will well, I shouldn't say you will fail, but there's a reason why Get Woke Go Broke is a hashtag. So, and this is a 79-page report. And to be fair, I don't think she's acting in good faith. This is an activist lawyer. And if you have seen any activist lawyers, Theodore Edgecombe trial was a perfect example of an activist lawyer. Someone that isn't looking at actually using the law, they look at abusing the law. All right, so let's look at what a statement from the museum has said. Just quick little. About 15,000 people attended the Justice for Black Lives rally at the Manitoba Legislature, listening to speakers and observing moments of silence, with chants of "No justice, no peace." So peaceful. Huh. Filling downtown Winnipeg, the crowd marched to the Canadian Museum of Human Rights. Powerful protests and rallies like this are leading to more and more public dialogue about systemic racism and the role of the police in our communities. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. All right, so let's look at this organization. Let's look at the groups that pushed Black Lives Matter. You know, arms or hands up, don't shoot, I can't breathe, all this stuff. So we got a couple video clips, just quick little hurrah as to the peaceful protests that happened here. All right, so we have the first one from 9 to 23.
Look at all that smoke.
Peaceful. Yeah, all right.
Normally when I see smoke, I definitely think peaceful. Thing. In Montreal, a fire truck is trying to get through the peaceful protesters. Oh, look. Aw. Yeah, how they're blocking a fire truck. Yeah, and then someone felt it necessary to sit in front of a fire truck. I don't understand who would do that.
Bunch of idiots. Lives Matter. I almost said Black Lives Don't Matter. Whoops. The peaceful protests, all this stuff. Well, let's look at blackface in command here. What did he do? That is our fearless leader. All right, I think we get the point. That's who he capitulated to. People that burned cities, killed people. That is where he felt at home the most. So that's a Black Lives Matter that is now advocating and is telling the Canadian Museum of Bullshit that this is what they need to do. This is what they need to embrace.
Yeah,
Look, here's a couple of photos.
Well, that's who he stood with, and he runs away from peaceful truckers. He stands with rioters and people who are destroying places. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can look the communist fist. Oh, look, Black Lives Matter. No justice, no peace. Oh, how weird is that? Communist fist, Black Lives Matter fist. Huh. Man, do those look alike or what?
Almost
Might have a
identical.
little bit of copyright issues there. Yeah. So let's talk about in Montreal in Canada, how peaceful it was. Anti-police brutality protest takes place in Montreal in solidarity against the killing of George Floyd. Okay. The march had snaked its way through downtown Montreal, but police had declared the gathering illegal about 3 hours after it began when they say projectiles were thrown at officers who responded with pepper spray and tear gas. Windows were smashed, fires were set, and the situation slid into a game of cat and mouse between pockets of protesters and police trying to disperse them.
I definitely
So
remember
this is
articles like this during the Freedom Convoy, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's weird. The only person that was actually trying to commit arson
Wasn't part of
tied to
the
Antifa.
freaking thing, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you can see on page 7, they're talking about heterosexism and, yeah, how it was actually hidden because of his of religious exemption. So, again, where's the discrimination? That is supposed to be a protected class. You cannot discriminate someone based on their religion. But, as long as it's some type of Christian stuff, that's okay.
Oh, yeah,
And then
that's
you
on the
can look
chopping
at
block.
page 18. We're page 18 about all the definitions where they're talking about prejudice, anti-racism scholar Robin DiAngelo, white fragility, the same person that said that I am a racist. I'm scared of black people. That's what she said.
That's
I
fucked up.
feel better. Oh, she said flat out that I feel better around white people, and if I'm at a barbecue and I see black people, I get scared.
What kind of a little
Literally,
bitch are you?
this is the thing. They are white supremacists. They are KKK members with a guilty conscience. That's it. You are the racist. This is what Black Lives Matter is. This is what the Canadian Museum of Human Rights, in order to stop discrimination, felt it necessary to adhere to. This is the lawyer that is pushing this type of ideology. How does that sound just? How is that progress? Think about race, how racist you are. We had the Alberta Civil Liberties Research Center saying the same thing. Oh, it's not about white people experience racism too. Yeah, at whiteness, where they said white skinned, light skinned, all this type of crap. Prejudice of another person based on the social groups to which that person belongs. Prejudice consists of thoughts and feelings. Oh, and stereotypes. Anti-racism. There we go. Again, anti-racism, the act is and process of choosing to challenge not only one's own biases and prejudices, but to engage in the work of actively dismantling racism as a system of oppression. And it goes on and on and on. Dr. Ibermex Kendi, the term non-racist is problematic because it is a claim that signifies neutrality. See, again, it is not enough to not be racist. You must be actively anti-racist. Yeah, I'm non-racist. Oh no, you're trying to skirt it. You have to look at race. I am not racist, but neither am I aggressively against racism. Oh, you're not aggressively. as Dr. Can you believe this person's
Actively.
a doctor? Can you believe that? Dr. Kendi is a doctor. This type of shit is being pushed by a doctor.
That's really gross.
All
Sorry,
right, so
I looked at the wrong thing that you were reading.
all right, then page 44. What do we have? The chief human resource. Oh yeah, so they needed to push sexual harassment, conducting interviews. Another complaint of sexual harassment was embedded with the larger complaint of inappropriate workplace conduct. Okay. As again, in reading this, a lot of these allegations sound like bullshit.
Yeah.
They don't sound real. LGBTQ content. So in the basis of information, again, we already talked about it. It was a school just saying, "Hey, can you put the gay stuff away?" And apparently that's a big problem. So they're board of trustees. So it's recommended that the government takes steps to the necessary. The board of trustees, representative of the diversity in Canada, and in particular, listen to this. This is the diversity, inclusion, and equity cult, the die cult, as I call it, has no fewer than one black person, one indigenous person, and one member of the alphabet soup community on the board at all times, in addition to members of other equity groups. I don't know what that means. I understand what it means in your pea brain freaking world, but in reality, I don't know what an equity group is. It is
No
recommended
clue.
that the Government of Canada and the Board of Trustees determine appropriate interim measures to ensure that the diverse perspectives of Canadians. No, not the best person for the job, not someone that loves the job, not someone that loves the community in which they or the culture in which they've researched and became an expert in. It's only skin deep. Nah, you have to have the right skin color. Remember, I'm Aboriginal. Maybe I should show you that arm. This one's it's all tatted up. It is
So
recommended the Board
dark.
of Trustees. Listen to this. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees engage in mandatory, ongoing anti-racist and anti-oppression education, both by self-learning and through scheduled training sessions. So they just want to tear the system down. You have page 60, executive management. They're talking about um, stakeholders. Well, like I said, it was recommended that stakeholder relations continue to include Indigenous communities, also the alphabet soup community, and every other oppression that we seem to make up.
As if you
So
read through
again,
all of this.
oh, I wanted to fucking shoot myself because everything was just woke. It was just racism, 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 racism. The literal definition, not this whatever. There's not this power plus prejudice or prejudice plus power. It's fucking whatever. I don't. Has recommended the evaluation of the of the entire executive management team include deliverables with respect to having each member commit personally to principles of anti-racism and equity. Come on, put the fist up. Yeah, you put the fist up. That's literally
Yeah.
it. They're saying you either comply, you actively, you be racist. You think of race in every single interaction you have, or you'll be fired. This is what our government is funding. This is what your tax dollars are funding. It's not it's not the idea of progress, of actually seeing people as Canadian. We are all one people. No, we have to again think of the bourgeoisie, the elite, and the proletariat, the serfdom, the poor. But then we need to interject because you're not considering sex of the people. You're not considering the skin color of the people. You're not considering the trans whatever of the person. So instead of actually trying to bring people together, because it's all about cutting the tall grass, you know? It's not the best person. If someone's doing too good, well, then obviously there is a system of oppression there. Grass needs to be cut down. What we have to deal with. Mediocrity. It's not about pulling people up, it's about pulling people down. Fucking crabs in a bucket. That's it.
You're gonna get that song stuck in my head now. Thanks, dude.
What?
Crabs in a bucket.
I don't know.
Song.
It is recommended that It is recommended that an executive position be created for a chief equity officer and anti-racism practice lead with sufficient budget and staffing to carry out duties and whose mandate inter alia will be to, of course, push more anti-racism, push more division, push more woke garbage. This this is supposed to be an institution that should show the worst sections of society. And honestly, the die cult is a perfect example of othering of the 12 stages of a genocide, where you have the Chaz, where two black kids were just shot and murdered, where women were raped, where people were looted, where people were extorted.
Yep.
This is what happened. This is the again, it has nothing to do with actual diversity and actual diversity of thought, not just skin color, because I'm not a racist. How weird. As
You're
opposed to them who
not?
are active. I know, crazy. I say pretty some edgy things. I don't believe it. It's called a joke. They wholeheartedly believe it. Where they try to cancel Dave Chappelle because he makes trans jokes. Where they try to cancel Ricky Gervais because he says, "I don't care. I'm here to
Yeah.
make people laugh." And you feel it necessary to try and cancel someone because they made sounds with their face that you don't like.
Yeah. Poor baby. Let me get you a tissue.
So again, I love the idea of actually showing true progress, of showing the atrocities that people will commit in the name of blah. I think the 10 stages of a genocide should be the first thing that they look at. Oh, othering people. Well, you decided to discriminate against people and exclude them from engaging in society. Very, very
Yeah.
progressive of you. You figure that the one place that would actually really fight against any form of discrimination. Not this, not perceived. Like, oh, because I took a sign off, suddenly I'm a hero and a champion. This is why we need to have understand. This is why we communicate. This is why we talk to each other. So it brings us together
Well, yeah.
instead of this type of division.
Well, yeah, they're trying to bring everybody together by taking the signs off the bathroom so then everybody can sing Kumbaya as they piss.
Well, and again, there's a reason why there's a lock on the women's bathroom and there's not on the men's bathroom.
Right?
Is because women can and are sexually assaulted by men. Does it happen all the time? No. But we've noticed weird. We figured this out in the past that men are typically stronger than women. I mean, like biological, not whatever you want to make up.
No.
Because now we use gender and sex interchangeably. So we're applying, I think I said yesterday, applying a social construct to a biological process.
Yeah.
Weird, because you said biology and sex, or biology and gender are two separate things. Okay, well, now you're using social to influence the biological. No, just because you say a rabbit is a man or is a male rabbit doesn't suddenly make it a male rabbit.
What I don't understand, just sorry to anybody who's watching if I look a little weird. My eyes keep fluttering. My contacts are super dry, right? All of a sudden for whatever reason. But anyway, um, what I don't understand is that they're combating the sexual harassment, the homophobia, and the racism with taking a sign off of a door to allow men into women's bathrooms and women into men's bathrooms, which I'm pretty sure it women's aren't gonna women's. Why do I keep saying women's? Women aren't gonna want to go into a men's bathroom. But mind you, if everything is just freaking co-ed, well, it's not really gonna make that much of a difference. But again, like I had mentioned in yesterday's episode, like a bathroom is supposed to be a safe space. A bathroom is supposed to be a place where a woman can go and do her business or her, you know, that
Their
time.
business. Their
Yeah,
business. I don't
that.
want to fucking hear about it.
Oh my god, shut up. But they should be able to go to the bathroom and have that privacy. and now they're not going to have that privacy, which is just ridiculous. And again, like, okay, so people were being sexually harassed, and now you're going to allow men into the women's bathroom. So you think that's going to stop sexual harassment? Really? Interesting.
Oh, I am waiting, and it's going to happen. And mark my words. When a sexual assault takes place in one of their bathrooms, and they'll hide it.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
I guarantee you, because they have done this a lot. They have hidden it in schools where they say, "Don't talk about it. Don't tell your parents. Don't tell anyone." Where they artificially hide numbers of instances of real rape in the name of the die cult.
Yeah.
And again, I have no problem. I love the idea of progress. That is how we that's how we move forward as a society.
Yeah.
Actual progress. The museum is literally the history of terrible things that people have done to each other in the past.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be about. But you've decided to throw your hat in the ring with identity politics. Where can I cancel that? Because I think that is actually anti-Canadian.
Yeah.
I think that's
100%.
actually quite discriminatory, and it seems very ironic that an institution that is supposed to eliminate this has now decided that, well, we're going to continue to push discrimination not only by us, but by everyone around here.
It's just so mind-boggling to me how they can. Okay, we're gonna do something to hopefully not offend these particular people, but we're totally gonna offend these particular people, and that's okay. Like they're totally okay with hurting or offending one group to save the other, which makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Well, here, how about think about this? Has nothing to do with the L, the G, and the B. It is all about the T. That's all what this is about. Lesbians? No, shut up, bull dyke. Gays? No, you got monkeypox to worry about
You're
now.
old news. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about transgenderism, not about transgenders. It's about the ideology of transgender,
Yeah.
and I think this is quite pervasive. And I think if people really understood what was going on, and to be fair, I can't articulate it as well as Dr. James Lindsay. He has fantastic courses that he talks about this at length, like hours. And it's called New Discourses. So I would encourage you, go check that out. Go listen to it. He's funny, he's engaging. He's a lot smarter than I am, but it's kind of one of those, oh, okay, I can smell bullshit. So, I can smell it. Smell it from a mile away.
Get that taste in my mouth too.
Ugh.
Well,
All right, let's
you
get out of here.
you taste with your nose and you smell with your mouth. Yeah, you gotta have
Uh,
it work. It makes sense.
yeah. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for taking the time to hang out with us and listen to some things that we had to say today. Hope everyone's had a good week so far. Enjoy your Thursday and your gay Thursday, and we'll catch you back on tomorrow on Friday. Okay, no, you keep doing that because.
No, okay, bye.
Okay, don't forget you can check us out in all the places listed in the description box below, and we'll hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.